Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to another video. I am here again at the Mega Base, and I want to start off this episode by completing the other X on this side to go along with the one over there. And that will complete the entire outline for this Mega build as of what I have planned right now. After I've completed that outline, I just want to do a couple other things and maybe even work on the interior part of the base here a little bit more. But I'm going to get started with that second X, and I'll show you guys the entire outline once that's complete. That is now done, and it is looking phenomenal. And with both of them up, I want to see what this looks like as a whole. This will be my first time seeing the entire thing. I'm hoping that it looks as good as I imagined. Oh yeah, it definitely does look just as good as I thought it would. And now I can't wait to fill in all this with the blackstone and the X's and the different accent pieces. And based on my feedback from my last video, I am going to be doing a different design in those cross sections there. Now that I'm done with that second X, I'm going to move on to something a little different because I've been building for a while. And the next thing that I want to do is get netherite armor because I have the template. I just have to go down into the mines and get the ancient debris so that I can upgrade my gear. I made it down to the area where I'm going to be mining in the nether, and it's just at Y level 15 here. And I'm just going to mine, basically strip mining, straightforward, running, looking for ancient debris. And I'm probably going to end up having to use my shovel a lot because I think I'm in a soul sand valley. And I really hope that this isn't how it's going to go the whole time, because now I'm on fire. That's never good. Oh my gosh, this is not going well already. I got the fire situation sorted out, and I'm just going to start strip mining this way, because that way obviously did not work out very well. While I'm mining down here, I just want to update you guys on a few things. I have actually been gone from my home state for about 2.5 weeks now, and I've been at a place called Philmont. It's a scouting ranch where you can go and hike in the backcountry, and it's actually really cool. I got hiked around 70 miles over 12 days, and it was one of the best times of my life. And you're probably wondering, how the heck was I still watching this guy's videos while he was out hiking in the backcountry? And the truth is, I actually pre-recorded around 6 episodes so that they'd continue to upload while I was gone. And it worked out pretty well because they all uploaded at the right time, and you guys got to keep watching content while I was away, and I had a ton of fun. And didn't really have to worry about YouTube at all. The process of pre-recording that many videos, though, took forever, and I actually finished the last video at around 1:30 a.m. the night before I left, and I left that morning at 3:30, so I got around 2 hours of sleep that last night before I went on my trip, but it was totally worth it. And I'm very happy that I finished that last one because that meant that all my videos uploaded and there was no break in between videos. While I was at Philmont, I actually summoned 2 mountains, which was crazy. It's the first mountain I've ever summoned and the second mountain I've ever summoned. And the process of actually summoning a mountain isn't that bad. Like, I was carrying around 50 pounds of weight on my back, but it was totally worth it for the views because watching a sunset or a sunrise on the top of a mountain has to be one of the best things I've ever seen. After a fairly quick mining session, I got all the ancient debris I could need, and now I just need to smelt it all up and turn it into netherite scrap. And I already have 1 netherite scrap right here and 1 netherite ingot in my chest over here. So I'm just going to drop off all this netherrack and get the stuff I need to make the new smithing templates so that I can convert all of my armor and tools I have right here into the netherite variants. With the new 1.20 update, getting netherite armor is much more expensive, so I have to make all the netherite ingots first, and I have 7 of them, which should be enough for these 3 pieces of armor and these 4 tools, not including my diamond pickaxe here with silk touch. Since I already have 10 of those, I don't need another one. But I do have to make all these smithing templates, so that takes 7 diamonds each, which is going to add up fairly quickly. I need to make 7 new ones of those, and then I want to make sure I put 1 of these in a chest so that I don't accidentally use all 8 of them and end up not having enough. The next step after getting your netherite ingots and your smithing templates is to go over to a smithing table like I have over in my trading hall. I'm just going to use these because I don't need to make a new one when I already have all the ones over here. And put the smithing templates in and the netherite ingots, and then put in the tool of choice, which first is going to be my sword, then my pickaxe with fortune, then my axe, then my shovel, and then these 3 pieces of armor. Put those 2 back in there. And now I have full netherite stuff, which in my opinion looks much better than diamond because it just looks more menacing and the helmet shape itself just looks so much cooler. With all those upgrades done, I now want to go back to working on the mega base a little bit. I will be putting some designs on my armor at some point, but right now I'm just going to leave them plain because I haven't decided what designs I want to put on it yet. The part of the mega base that I want to work on next is these pathways here. I don't want them to be iron blocks because the main sphere outer part is going to be iron blocks, and I've been working in a creative test world and came up with an idea for these pathways. It's going to be a whole bunch of layers of glass going downward that kind of make it a void feeling, and I want to use cyan glass for that, which means I would need a whole bunch of green dye and a whole bunch of blue dye, which I don't have any of either, so that's kind of a problem. Another problem with these pathways is I want the glass in these 2 spots to be lined with prismarine on the outside because it goes really well with the cyan glass. But a problem with that is I have no prismarine because I don't have a guardian farm. So there's a couple things that I need to do before I can start these pathways, and one of them is make a guardian farm, which I just made in my previous series, so I'm gonna just blast through that. And while I'm working on that, I'm also gonna have a cactus farm running in the background to get a whole bunch of green dye, and then I can just get the blue dye from cornflowers scattered around, so that's not really a problem. I am just about done collecting the resources for the Guardian Farm, and the Guardian Farm I'm going to be making is the same one I made in my previous series, so it's going to be using a dual dimension system that transports them to the nether and then back to the overworld for killing, and then looting is going to be the preferred way of killing them because you get a whole bunch more drops. The last few things I need are soul sand and obsidian, so I'm going to get the soul sand from the nether here, and then I'm going to go to the end and get a whole bunch of obsidian, so I hopefully will never have to get any more in the future. And then I'll get cracking on the Guardian Farm. The Guardian Farm is now done and working properly, but I have no storage system on it whatsoever right now. So I'm going to make a new storage system. On the last one, I wasn't completely happy with it because it just kind of dumped into a whole bunch of different chests. And this time I want to use some shulker box loaders and item sorters along with those to make this a really efficient sorting system that will hopefully work better than the last one, and will also make it easier to collect all the items and bring them back to my base so that I can make all the prismarine I want. The storage system for the Guardian Farm is now complete, and it is much better than the last one. It still uses just about the same amount of sorters, with 6 for prismarine shards and 6 for prismarine crystals on each side, but this one you can kind of split into 4 different parts that are all exactly the same. Each part has the 6 sorters, and then each sorter goes into a shulker box loader down here. And it's actually 2 sorters per shulker box loader because a shulker box loader can keep up with 2 of them, it seems like, roughly, with the time between killing all the guardians. So I decided to half that just to save some resources. And then all of those flow into the center barrels, and I have been running this farm for a little bit now, and I've gotten 1 shulker box of prismarine shards on each side, and this side has gotten a box of prismarine crystals. So that has working out, and this side hasn't gotten a box of prismarine crystals, but I just assume that this one's a little bit more empty. It just depends on which side the crystals go to. So I'm not too worried about that. I am confident that this whole system works, and then it just spits out the fish and the guardian heads at the end. So the whole system is now working properly, and with that being said, I am running out of time to finish this episode, so this is going to be the end. I'm not going to get to those pathways in this episode, but they'll probably be right at the beginning of the next one. So with all that being said, I want to thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and if you did, remember to like and subscribe, and I will see you next time.